Hi, it's Andy Partington here, Hailing Island Sailing Club Commodore. I just thought I'd check in for another quick chat with all the Hailing Island Sailing Club members out there. We're in a different venue. Welcome to the weekend. The weather's not so great, but this is the closest I guess we're all going to, or I'm going to get to sailing. So we've got the trusty penguin dance out here, our International 14. She's getting a little bit of lockdown love, but I thought we'd do the story and a little chat from somewhere that's very special to me, which is my workshop, or the man cave as it's affectionately known by the rest of the family. But I thought we'd go in there and have a little chat, and I'll give you a status update on what's happening with the club. So I guess before I do that, really just wanted to say a massive thank you to all the members of the club and the support that you've been giving us during this sort of difficult phase, and the ask that I made last time about people continuing to pay their direct debits, etc. That by and large is happening. We're still saying, if you have financial challenge at the moment, just let us know and we'll deal with that on an individual basis. But it's good news that you're all supporting us as much as you can. So we're in the man cave here. This is where a lot of projects go on. A lot of sailing stuff stored in here, and I thought I'd start today and give you a little status update on where we are, and have a little story from the wall, but not that wall. There's some photos that are brought in from the office to show you. And what's the story this week? Well, the story's about 18-foot skiffs, and it's when a very famous manufacturer, shall I call that, of men's aftershave, joined up with an 18-foot skiff team, and I happened to get involved in that, and so we'll tell you the story of that a little later. But let's just sort of go through the status of where we are at the club. A lot of this but I think it would be good to sort of reiterate a few key points. So we know the club is closed due to the lockdown that the government is enforcing at the moment. Additionally, which some people I think are not aware of, but is very key, is the Conservancy, the harbour master that runs the harbour, has basically said there should be no recreational boating. So there is no opportunity to go sailing, unfortunately. But we have had some questions about, can I come to the club for a walk and stuff like that? And we have a public footpath around the club, and if members that live locally want to use that for their exercise, then that's absolutely fine. But we would obviously ask you to stick to the guidelines, the social distancing guidelines outlined by the government, and don't come there to relax. Walk around the beaches around the club for your exercise, but make sure you stay within the guidelines. And I suppose the other sort of key update that again people are aware of, but many of our staff are furloughed at the moment. We're keeping a staff that's sort of appropriate to the activity that's going on at the moment and the planning that's going on at the moment, and we're constantly reviewing that on a weekly basis, and that may change as the sort of the lockdown period extends or contracts or whatever. So that's really an update of where we are. I think those are the key points. I'll come on in a minute to talk about the sort of planning that's going on for the restart, and so I've got my party shirt on because we're all ready for a party. But I think, being realistic, that's a long way off. But let's talk about the restart in a minute. But let's go to the story on the wall, the 18-foot skiff story. So got a couple of photos here that I'm going to show you. This is an 18-foot skiff in Garda. Some of you will recognise the backdrop there. That's Bunny Warren at the front of the boat, a good friend of mine. That's me in the middle, and that's Martin Jones on the helm. So this is circa 1995. I think it's 1995. I can't quite remember, but I think it's about that time. But there was a lot of 18-foot skiff sailing going on at that time, and that's us in Lake Garda, which was a great event. But the story I'm going to tell you is about this picture. And this picture was taken from a helicopter in Sardinia, so it's the same team at an 18-foot skiff event there. You can see that there's some pretty prominent aquatonic, so Brute aquatonic branding on that. So we had a sponsorship package from Brute Aquatonic, and as you see the boats all logoed up, and for some reason they thought getting into 18-foot skiffs and sponsoring them was a good thing to promote their brand, and that was an excellent decision. But so this, as I say, this photo was taken from a helicopter, and a bit disappointing this really, but later on, after these photos were taken, we got to hear about the brief that the photographer was given on this day, and the brief they were given was get some great action shots, but don't get too close up on the crew. They're a little bit older than our target age group. Very disappointing. So I suppose that was when I realised that my days as a poster boy for a leading men's aftershave were probably limited, and unfortunately the sponsorship ended after the first season, but we had a lot of fun and a lot of great photos to come out of it. So that's the story of the aquatonic skiff and my brief foray into men's aftershave promotion. There you go. So let's talk about the restart of the club and what might happen. And I have to say, you know, this is what might happen. You know, there's nothing definitive here, so certainly don't hold me to any of this. But this is sort of our thinking at the moment. I'm just being very open with you. So we're obviously monitoring the situation on a regular basis, on a weekly basis. We have the task force in place, which is myself, Rod Carr, Emma Toman, Mike Massey, and Edwina, our general manager. So we meet twice a week at the moment, monitoring the situation. And I guess none of us know when the restrictions that we're under will lift, or how they will lift exactly. But we're sort of working on some, I suppose, some basic assumptions in our planning that I think I'd like to share with you. So we're basically assuming that the easing of the restrictions will more likely come on the sort of sailing side, in terms of enable us to, for example, open up our open sailing program. So basically have some sailing of some sort. That's more likely to happen than us being able to open up the whole house side, for example. Racing will probably take a little bit longer to come back, because without lifting some of the social distancing, then it's very hard to see how the racing program would work. So we're assuming that open sailing would be the first thing we could do. We may be able to introduce some sort of limited house service at that stage, maybe some sort of takeaway service. But racing and then full sort of house back to where we were could potentially take a long time, and I think we're under no illusions there. So really the steps we're taking, or we're sort of planning, is that when we get I guess a clearer sign of restrictions lifting, the first thing we will do is bring back the marine team that are furloughed at the moment and start to get the club ready. There's quite a lot of things that need to be done to get ready, like there's a lot of sand build up, there's still some work to be done on some of the committee boats, etc. But we don't want to bring that team back too early, because you can't bring people in and out of furlough easily, so we're just sort of judging that as it comes. But when we get the right signs in terms of lifting restrictions, we will bring the marine team back. Hopefully we'll be able to open up some sailing at that point. Launching the cruisers once the restrictions are lifted will be a key priority for us, because they're currently occupying the car park, and if members want to come down, we want to be able to clear the car park and have that available to our members. So launching the cruisers will be a priority. We will plan that with all the owners and make sure that everybody's comfortable with it, but clearly it'll be that will be a priority for us. And I suppose, we'd all love to have a big party to celebrate the club opening again. Look, I've got my party shirt on, and it's only Saturday lunchtime, so I love a party. But I think that may be a while before we can do that. But we'll certainly do that when we can. But let's let's not expect that to be any time soon. So thanks for your support. I hope you enjoyed these videos and the other videos that have been done by Henry and others at the club. Look after yourselves and make sure that you look after those around you that are vulnerable and are at risk during this unprecedented time. So good luck to everybody, and speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.